Matty's 2020 gear reveals coming up. What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome back. My name is Matt. This channel is all about hiking and backpacking. We talk a ton of gear here, go to some pretty sweet places in the Rockies. So if any of that interests you guys, click on the subscribe button over there. But like I said at the start, we're doing gear reveals today. Now, you guys may have seen, I did a video recently, well, actually a couple months ago, about gear that I was done with after 2019. So going into 2020, obviously I had some gear changes I was making. Today, that's what we're talking about. And if you guys stick around to the end, we're also going to talk about some gear changes that Wanda is making for this year. The first piece of gear we're going to talk about is something I didn't actually talk about in my gear that I'm ditching for 2019 video, because I didn't really have any intentions on switching it, but I've been having a lot of issues with my Joby Gorilla Pod, primarily this. The legs popping off all the time. Seems to be a pretty common issue with these things, so I'm moving away from the Joby Gorilla Pod because I'm tired of having to walk back on the trail and costing me kilometers picking up the legs on these things, or my friends hiking behind me picking up the legs and I go and reach into my pocket to pull my tripod out and I'm missing legs on it. Half the legs on this one here alone are glued in place and I can't even move them anymore. So I'm switching away from the Joby Gorilla Pod, going with this guy here. This is the Pedco Ultra Pod Grip. When you undo this cool little Velcro strap on the side here, it opens up, you get a cool little tripod. It's got the same kind of swivel ball mount on the top that my Joby had. The cool part about this little Velcro strap here though, is when you've got the legs mounted in, it's got this little D-ring on the side. I don't plan on strapping this to my arm obviously, but if you can picture a tree limb or a branch in here, that's kind of the plan for using this thing. I love the Joby Gorilla Pod because you could wrap the legs around trees and branches and stuff like that, but this is going to be a lot more stable, I do believe, and I know a lot of friends that are using these things, so decided to make the switch to the Pedco Ultra Pod. This also saves me some weight. This is a full 1.5 ounces lighter than my Joby Gorilla Pod, coming in at 104 grams or 3 5/8 of an ounce. So a piece of gear that you guys are probably never going to see besides this video, but the Pedco Ultra Pod Grip is what I'm going with for all my filming on the trail going forward. Next new piece of gear for 2020 that we're going to talk about, something you guys may be aware of already because I've mentioned it a couple times on the channel. We're going with the Ursack Major XL for my food storage this year. For a lot of those times when I'm camping up in the Alpine and there's not a whole lot of trees to hang my food from, this comes in handy. And it's just a convenience thing for me as well. My mom picked this up for me for Christmas this year, so I'm super stoked to use it. It's just a Kevlar bag. Stuff your food inside. Tie it at the top. There's a little special knot that you tie with it. Right here on the tag shows you the knot to tie at the top. Tie it around your tree, you're good to go. Yeah, we're going with the Ursack Major XL for my food storage this year. This guy comes in at 220 grams or 8 ounces. The weight savings on this from the dry bag I was using before saves me a full 1.5 ounces. So I'm pretty stoked to be getting out with the Ursack this year. So in 2019, I was a big fan of the Trekology 2.0 pillow, but then in a huge U-turn for my gear that I was ditching after 2019, I dissed the Trekology 2.0 pillow because I had some major failures with it. Going into 2020, in my hammock, I'm going to be sticking with my Hammock Gear downfield pillow, as I mentioned in that video. But for the couple trips that I have this year where I'm not going to be able to use my hammock and I am going to be ground camping, I'm going to be going with this guy here. This is the Outdoor Vitals ultralight inflatable pillow. The reason I'm pretty stoked about the Outdoor Vitals pillow is on my Trekology pillow, the valve system is what failed. And inside the valve on this guy, it's just a rubber flap and it's pretty simple. On the Trekology pillow, there's this little clicker. And what I was having issues with is the clicker wouldn't fully seal. So I'm pretty stoked about this Outdoor Vitals pillow to be using for some ground camping trips this year. So that's what we're going with. And sticking with ground camping, I am going to be getting a new tent in 2020. It is on the way. I don't have it yet. So I'm not going to do a big reveal on the tent. But stay tuned for that one. I think you guys are going to like it. So for anybody who's looking for like a semi-ultralight budget tent option, stay tuned for that. I think you guys are going to really like what we got coming for a new tent in 2020. Sticking with shelter options, you guys know I've been looking for a new hammock going into 2020. I wanted something a little bit lighter than my Little Shop of Hammocks Warrior to save me a little bit of weight. And I didn't necessarily need the integrated bug net all the time for my backpacking trips because I primarily take Wanda or Remy out with me and I'm sleeping in the Pet Palace, so I don't need my own integrated bug net. Here it is, guys, the big reveal, the piece of gear that I am personally the most stoked about going into 2020. We got a Dream Hammock Raven. Now, I'm not going to do a huge big reveal and show you guys the Raven just yet. We're going to have a bunch of videos on this thing coming out. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, going with the Raven hammock, this is dropping me almost a full 10 ounces of weight out of my backpacking kit. I am beyond excited for this hammock right here. Hope you guys are just as stoked for this guy right here as I am. I've wanted a dream hammock for a long time, so a huge thank you to Randy and Deanna for working with me, building this Raven hammock for me. Super stoked to check this thing out, bring it to you guys, show you guys all about this hammock. More videos obviously on the Dream Hammock Raven coming up. If you guys are stoked for that, smash the thumbs up. Drop some comments down below if you guys are jacked for that one. The next piece of gear we're going to talk about is actually not even something I was thinking about switching going into 2020. Switching out from my Lixada 650mm titanium pot that I've been using for the last couple years. And we are going with a Toaks titanium 550mm. This is actually the Toaks 550 Light, coming in at 91 grams or 3¼ ounce. That's with the included orange Toaks stuff sack. This is what we're going with for the backpacking trips coming up. I generally don't boil any more than 2 cups of water, so Toaks 550 pot, that's what we're going with for our new cook pot going into 2020. Now we're going to talk about the real reason you guys are here, to talk about Wanda's new gear for 2020. Not a whole lot of gear changes for this girl here, but we do have a new pack for her coming. We've been talking to a gear manufacturer about a new pack for Wanda, and we do have one on the way. It's not here yet, so we're not going to do a big reveal on Wanda's pack. But I know you guys absolutely love seeing her. I love getting her on camera. I love getting her out here for you guys. So she wanted to come on, have a little chat about her gear, show you guys how excited she is. Obviously, she wanted some belly rubs. That's the real reason she's here. But yeah, we do have a new pack coming for Wanda. So hope you guys are just as stoked as her and I for that one. And what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to pop up in the cards here my gear that I'm done with in 2019, just in case you guys haven't seen that one. So go over and watch that one if you guys are wondering what all these gear changes are about. And as always, guys, I am Matty. Thank you guys so dang much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.